CGL Tier 2 exam refresher is on your screens now. So in the next 1 to 1.5 hours, we'll solve as many questions as possible. Here's the first one. See what it says. A person lent rupees 10,000 to B for 3 years and rupees 6,000 to C for 4 years on simple interest at same rate of interest and received rupees 5,400 in all from both of them as interest. What is the rate of interest? Now this is a simple one. All you have to do is, frame that one equation, solving which you will get the rate of interest. So I'll leave you with this for about 45 seconds, which is more than enough. Your clock starts now. You have to find out the rate of interest. What will be the rate of interest when you give 10,000 for 3 years and 6,000 for 4 years on simple interest at the same rate? The total amount that you have got, the total interest that you have received from both the schemes together is 5,400. Got it? Okay, 10% is what I see as the most common response here. Let me see who all have got the answer. Santosh, Priyatam, Neeraj, Sautrik Joy, Karthikeyan, Nilab. Not many of you. I'm sure others are still stuck. So let's wait for a few more seconds before we discuss the solution. But let me tell you that ideally you should be able to solve this in about 20 to 25 seconds. I don't know why is it taking so long for you guys. We'll wait for a few more seconds. Yeah, Bhavani and Pranita have also got the answer. 10%, option 1. Okay. Alright, so let's discuss the solution now. Here we go. A person lent rupees 10,000 to B for 3 years and rupees 6,000 to C for 4 years on simple interest at the same rate of interest, right? At the same rate of interest. And he received what? 5,400 in all. That is 5,400 total from both of them as interest. What is the rate of interest is the question. So basically the question is on simple interest, right? So it should be a simple one. What does it say? A person lent 10,000 to B for 3 years. So you know the principal and you know the time period. Again, 6,000 to C for 4 years. You know the principal and you know the time period on simple interest at the same rate of interest. Let's assume the rate of interest is R. The rate of interest is R here. And received what? 5,400 in all from both of them as interest. So total amount that he has received at interest is 5,400 SI. SI1 plus SI2 total is 5,400. What is the rate of interest is the question. Simple. I will say 5,400 will be equal to, see, if the rate of interest is R% per annum, how much will you get in 3 years? 3R percentage. Yes or no? That's the concept that we have learned in the videos of simple and compound test. Every year you will get R%. So in 3 years you will get 3R percentage. 3R percentage of what? 10,000. So 3R% of 10,000. Plus, same again, if the rate of interest is R percentage per annum, how much do you get in 4 years? 4R percentage. 4R percentage of what? The principal amount, which is 6,000. That's it. Solve for R. So this is just one equation that you have to solve and get the answer. So if I neglect the percentages here, 2 zeros will get cancelled, right? Percentages by 100. So finally we'll be left with 3R into 100 plus 4R into 60 equals to 5,400. So basically 3R into 100 is 300R plus 4R into 60 is 240R equals to 5,400. So this is 540R, right? 300 plus 240 is 540. 540R is 5,400. So R will be equal to what? 10% per annum. Should not take more than 15 to 20 seconds in my view overall, right? Simple solution. There's nothing complex about it. So option 1, 10% is the right answer. And yes, if you have found this to be extremely simple, you're right. It is a question from simple interest, and simple interest, like you all know, is usually easy and simple to work on, right? And this was the last year's SSC CGL Tier 2 question. So don't worry as to will such questions be asked in the SSC CGL Tier 2 exam. Last year it was asked. This year also they may ask such simple ones. Okay, all you have to make sure is there is no room for, ensure that there is no room for errors, right? You cannot be committing silly mistakes here and end up screwing your own performance there. Okay, and work on the speed. Those who all have got the answers now, Geeta, Ayushi, Rishu, Deepak and others, you have taken a lot of time when compared to others. Okay, like I said, not more than 20 seconds for such a simple one. Anyway, I am sure this is clear to all of you. Let's take up the next one, which is from profit and loss, and here's the question. See what it says. Kanchan bought a clock with 25% discount on marked price. She sold it with 75% gain on the price she bought. What was her profit percentage on the marked price? Now again a simple one. If you have gone through the videos of profit and loss, you will know what can be applied here to get the answer directly. So ideally it should not take more than 20 seconds in the exam again. However, I'll leave you with this question for 60 seconds. Your clock has started ticking now. Quick. Okay, Neeraj has got option 2 50% and Pittu has got option 1 31.25%. Others are stuck. We will wait for maybe 15 more seconds before we take up the solution. Deepak has also got 31.25. Ayushi has got option 3 56.25. So I think disparity in terms of responses here, right? We've got option 1 marked by a few of you, option 2 marked by one of you, and option 3 also marked by one of you. Sautrik Joy 31.25. Okay. Pranita has got 1, which is 31.25. So I think a majority of you have got 31.25, but there's some confusion with some of you, right? Those who have got 50% and 56.25. Well, you could be right, but I'm just talking in favor of those who have got 31.25. Santosh and Venkat Reddy has also got 31.25. So before I take up the solution, I want to know how many of you have got stuck with this particular question. I'm sure a lot of you have not been able to solve this. You're still struggling to find out a way to get to the answer, right? So why don't you just mention in the chat that you have got stuck or you're unable to solve it? Let me just figure out how many of you are not getting the answer to this one. He says Kanchan bought a clock with 25% discount on the marked price. She sold it at 75% gain on the price she bought it for. And then what was the profit percentage on the marked price? What is the profit percentage on the marked price? How many of you have got struck? Sautrik, by the way, has mentioned that the screen is hazy. Well, guys, I think the stream is going absolutely fine from our end. I don't see any challenge here. How about others? Are others also finding the screen to be hazy? Sautrik, it's highly likely that the problem is at your end due to your, maybe poor connectivity there. Let me just confirm with others. By the way, Mamta has acknowledged that she's got struck, and I don't know what others are doing here. Others, there were many others, right, in the beginning of the session. What happened to you guys? Rishu has also got stuck. Okay. Neeraj says the screen is fine. So, Sautrik, I think you got to check your connection. The quality of video that you get at your end will depend on your connection. Okay. Okay, so I think not many of you are accepting the fact that you have got stuck with this one. Anyway, let me discuss the solution now. So here we go. It says Kanchan bought a clock with 25% discount on the marked price. Right? She got 25% discount on the marked price of the clock. She sold it with 75% gain on the price she bought. She sold it with what? 75% gain on the price she bought. Okay. What was her profit percentage on the marked price? Remember, he's asking us to find out the profit percentage on the marked price. Right? On the marked price, you have to be careful. What is the profit percentage? What is the profit percentage with respect to the marked price, the original marked price? Right? That's the question here. Now, since the question is a percentage based, it requires a percentage based answer, right? He's asking us to find out the profit percentage. You can always assume that the initial value was 100 rupees and do the calculation accordingly, right? So, for example, let's assume that the initial marked price is 100 rupees. The marked price is 100 rupees, this marked price. Kanchan bought it with a discount of 25%. Discount was what? 25%. 25% of what? Discount is always on the marked price, right? So 25% of 100 is 25 rupees. That means Kanchan paid how much for this price, for this article? she will pay 100 minus 25, right? So the price that she bought for, price for Kanchan, right? The cost price for Kanchan. Remember, the cost price for Kanchan is going to be 100 less 25, which is 75. So Kanchan paid 75 rupees for this article. Now she sold it with 75% gain on the price she bought. She bought at 75 rupees. She sold it for 75% profit. So what is the selling price for Kanchan? Selling price for Kanchan is going to be 75 rupees cost price plus 75% of 75 rupees. You getting it? Selling price for Kanchan is going to be 75 rupees, the cost that she has incurred, plus she made a profit of 75% on this 75 rupees. So 75 plus 75% of 75. So you will get the selling price. Now, if you are wondering what is the profit percentage, already we know that she has made 75% profit. The profit percentage that we are referring to is with respect to the marked price. So with respect to 100 rupees, what is the profit that she has made is the question here. Simplify this, what do we get? See, if we take 75% is like 3 by 4, right? So we can say 3/4 of 75. How much is 3/4 of 75? It will be 3/4 of 75, right? 75 minus 18.75. Yeah, 56.25. So 75 plus 56.25. You understand the calculation part. 3 by 4 of 75. So this 75 plus, I think 56.25. So this comes out to be 131.25, right? So selling price for Kanchan is going to be 131.25. Remember, the marked price was 100 rupees. Kanchan sold it for 131.25 rupees. So with respect to the marked price, how much is the profit? Simple. With respect to 100 rupees, this is 31.25% profit. 31.25% profit. I don't have to put the formula there, right? The base is 100. The value that you have sold it for, the price that you have sold it for is 131.25, which means the profit that you have made is 31.25 rupees on 100 rupees. Now 31.25 rupees on 100 rupees is 31.25%. So option 1 is the answer. You could have made the life a little simple by assuming the mark price to be 200 or 400. Then the calculation will not be this complex, right? Anyway, that's one way to get the answer. Whether you take 100 or 200 or 400 doesn't matter. This is one way to get the answer. What is a smart way to solve the same question? Instead of doing all this, is there a better way to get the answer? Yes. Use effective percentage. Just use effective percentage. This case given to us here can be easily cracked using the effective percentage concept. What is effective percentage? A plus B plus AB by 100, where A and B are 2 percentages given to you. Now A in our case is the 25% discount and B is 75% gain. So 25% discount means A is plus 25, minus 25, and 75% gain is plus 75. Remember, discount should always be taken with the negative sign. It is reducing the value, right? So take minus 25. 75% gain implies increment in the value, so plus 75. So minus 25 plus 75 plus minus 25 into plus 75 divided by 100. Simplify this, what happens? We will get 50 minus, this is 75 by 4. 75 by 4 is 18.75. 50 minus 18.75. See, minus 18.7. 50 minus 18.75 will be 31.25%. So your final answer to this question, which is the profit percentage with respect to market price. See, how much profit that she made with respect to the market price. So with respect to initial value, with respect to the initial 100 value, if you want to find out the profit, just use the effective of the 2% given to you. Right? There was a discount involved and then there was a profit involved. You can just apply effective percentage to get the answer directly. Anyway, in either case, the answer is option 1, 31.25%. So good. Many of you got 31.25, but those who have marked 50% or 56.25%, check your calculation. Now, before we go to the next one, my question to you all is, how many of you have solved using the regular method, the conventional method, where we assume the initial value is 100 and do some calculation? And how many of you, who all of you have used the smart method of effective percentage? Why don't you just quickly mention that in the chat? I hope those who all got stuck, Sautrek, Bhavani and others, Rishu, Mamta, all these guys have understood the solution now. See, Pittu says regular method. But I'm sure, Pittu, that you have found the effective percentage to be an easier one, right? It gives you the answer straight. You just have to play with those 2 percentages. A plus B plus AB by 100 is the effective percentage. Pranita has used the regular method. Ajit has used regular method. Venkat has used regular method. Karthikeyan has also used regular method. पिट्टू से फिर भी फर्स्ट मैंने ही दिया। पिट्टू सही है, आपने रेगुलर मेथड यूज करके भी सबसे पहले आंसर लाया होगा यहाँ पर, बट द पॉइंट इज what's the point in using the regular method when there is a smarter way to get the answer. Anyways, I hope all of you have understood the concept here. We can go to the next question now. Yeah, should we go for the next one? I'm sure we can take the next one. So let me present the next question, which is from the topic of time and distance. It involves the concept of trains here. Rishu says, I know the smart method but did not apply it here, and Rishu's sad about it. Well, you should be sad about it. I mean, if you know a method and even after that, if you don't apply it at the right time, then what is the point? Yeah, so I think divergently, right? You have to think and find out the best way to solve the question before you proceed with the solution there. Okay, let me take up the next one now from time and distance on your screens here. It says a train travels 20% faster than a car. Both start from point A at the same time and reach point B, which is 180 km away at the same time. On the way, the train takes 30 minutes for stopping at the stations. What is the speed in kilometers per hour of the train? So this is an interesting one. He says there is a train which can travel 20% faster than a car. Its speed is 20% more than the speed of the car. Both of them start from point A at the same time to reach point B, which is 180 kilometers away, and they reach both at the same time. Both of them reach at the same time. Now on the way, the train takes 30 minutes for stopping at stations. So it stopped for 30 minutes basically. Based on this data, what is the speed of the train is the question here. What is the speed of the train? Let's see how many of you get the answer. Got it? Option 3, 72. Okay. Santosh, Chandrahas, Pittu, Neeraj, Pranita and Nilab. All these guys have got option 372, but Deepak on the other hand says it should be option 480. I'll wait for maybe a couple of more responses. I know the time is up, but let's hear from others as well. Sautrik Joy has also got 72. One more response and then we'll discuss this. And others who have got stuck, why did you just mention it immediately? I mean, let's not waste our time. You can either say skipped or stuck or unable to solve or whatever. 5 more seconds. Okay, let's take it up. So here's the question. A train travels 20% faster than a car. Both start from point A at the same time and reach point B, 180 kilometers away at the same time. On the way, the train takes 30 minutes for stopping at the stations. What is the speed of the train? So basically there is a train and a car, right? The case involves a train and a car. The train here travels 20% faster than the car. So let's assume the speed of the car is S. What will be the speed of the train? It will be S plus 20% of S. It travels 20% faster, right? S plus 20%, which means 1.2 S. See, S plus 20% is 0.2 S, right? S plus 0.2 S is 1.2 S. So if the speed of the car is S, speed of the train is going to be 1.2 S. Now both of them start from point A at the same time and reach point B, which is 180 kilometers away. So basically the distance covered by both of them is equal to 180 kilometers. Distance covered by car is equal to distance covered by train is 180 kilometers from point A to point B, right? From point A to point B. And both of them reach at the same time. Now how is it possible if both of them start at the same time? How can both reach at the same time? Because one body's speed is more than the other body. But then if you see, on the way, the train takes 30 minutes for stopping at the stations. So, which means the car did not stop anywhere. The car was running non-stop, but the train stopped at stations and it took 30 minutes for stopping. It took 30 minutes for stopping. So this has to be factored in. So let's assume the time taken by the car is equal to T hours. The time taken by the car is T. So what will be the time taken by the train? It will be T minus half hour. T minus half hour. Yes or no? That's it. Again, don't go by the number of steps that we have put on paper. You can directly take the variables S, 1.2 S, 180 is the distance. This is T, then this will be T minus half. right? What is the speed of the train? What is the speed of the train? We have to calculate 1.2 s here. Just remember that, right? Speed of the train is a question mark. Now, what is common? The distance covered by both of them is common, right? Distance is equal to 180 kilometers, right? What is distance? Speed into time. Speed into time, right? So let's equate the distance. We know that distance covered by distance covered by the car is equal to distance covered by train. See, you don't have to write all the steps. I'm just explaining in detail, right? Cut down all the unnecessary steps here. Now, distance covered by car, speed of the car s into time taken by car t, which is equal to distance covered by train. Speed of the train is 1.2 s into time taken by train is t minus half, t minus 0.5. Now, simplify this, what happens? See, understand this s into t, distance covered, s into t is actually 180 kilometers. We already know this. Yeah, so solve for it. So you can say s into t, 180 equals to 1.2 times of, see this s into t, 1.2 into s into t is also 180. S into t is 180 minus 1.2 s into half. So if you simplify, I'm writing the next step here, right? If you simplify, what happens? We'll get 180 equals to 1.2 into 1. I mean, I'm just repeating that step, sorry, so that you can find the trace easily. So this is the step where we are at. Now 1.2 into 180 minus 180 will be 0.2 into 180, which is 36. And this will be what? 0.6 into s. So basically 0.6 into s is equal to 36, which implies s will be what? 60 kilometers per hour. 36 by 0.6, 60 kilometers per hour. Okay. But then the question is what? Speed of the train, not the speed of the car. So speed of the train is what? 1.2 times of s. So 1.2 into 60, which is 72. 72 kilometers per hour. Option 3 is the answer. Now please do not go by the length of the explanation. I think I've made it really long by putting up all the unnecessary steps, right? I mean, you don't have to write this on paper, right? This is all mentally understood. Distance is 180. The speed of the car is s, so speed of the train is 1.2 s. Time taken by car is t, so time taken by the train will be t minus half. This also is known to us. I think you should directly start from this step. All you will put on paper is this. Whatever is in green has to be put on paper. This step, in fact, and solve for s from this one. Once you get s, you can find out the speed of the train from that. Okay. Option 3, 72 is the final answer. 72 is the final answer. Okay. Let's go for the next one. I think I'm sure all of you have followed the solution. There's nothing complex about it. Let's take one more from trains. Here we have got two trains moving in opposite direction at certain speeds, crossing a man who's sitting in one of the trains, right? So one train is crossing a man who's sitting in some other train. Interesting one. We have solved such questions in our videos as well, in our basic videos of time and distance. However, this will be a test of your learning of time and distance. Okay, here we go. By the way, I think, yeah, Sautrik has mentioned that it can be solved by percentage also. Yes, you can solve the previous question using percentages as well. But I mean, assuming all of you know the concepts, you can just do that. I'll tell you how to use percentages. I mean, it can be done mentally. That's what I told you, right? All these steps that we had shown, I mean, which I had put on paper, are not required. Simple. The speed of the train is 20% more. Implies it will take 16.66% lesser time. You understand? When the speed of the train is 20% more, the time required will be 16.66% less. Now, to understand this itself, you have to go to percentages model 3, right? It's a simple calculation. I mean, if you know the technique, you will very easily be able to find out how much less time will it take in terms of percentage. So 20% more speed implies 16.66% less time. We know that the train has taken 30 minutes lesser, half an hour less. Yes or no? The train has taken 30 minutes less, which means half an hour less. So if the train has taken half an hour less, I know that actually it should take 16.66% lesser time. So I can equate the 16.66% to 30 minutes. If 16.66% is 30 minutes, what is 100%? It will be 3 hours, right? 6 times 3 hours. So the time taken is 3 hours. Now to travel a distance of 180 kilometers, if somebody takes 3 hours, what is the speed? 60 kilometers per hour. But that is the speed of the car. Speed of the train will be 20% more than that. So 60 plus 20% of 60, which is 72. Yeah, you'll get the answer in about 10-15 seconds. Even if you skip the steps, all the unnecessary steps, that method also will give you the answer in almost the same time. Okay. Anyway, let's take up the next one. This one is on trains again. Two trains are moving in opposite directions at the speeds of 43 and 51. The time taken by the slower train to cross a man sitting in the faster train is 9 seconds. 235, right. So a lot of responses here in one shot. Ayushi, Ajit, Mahata, Sautrik, Mamta and Chandrahas. All these guys have got 235, which is option 1. Let's take up the solution now. I think enough time has been given. Let's look at it. So yeah, two trains are moving in the opposite directions at speed of 43 kilometers per hour and 51 kilometers per hour respectively. The time taken by the slower train to cross a man sitting in the faster train is 9 seconds. What is the length of the slower train? Okay, so he's talking about two trains which are moving in opposite directions at the speeds of 43 and 51 kilometers per hour respectively. Now the time taken by the slower train to cross a man, understand, this is the key point. The slower train is crossing a man who's sitting inside the faster train. In 9 seconds. What is the length of the slower train? Now this involves the concept of relative speed, right? When two bodies are moving together, we should use the concept of relative speed. What does it say? S1 plus or minus S2 equals to L1 plus L2 divided by time, where S1 and S2 are the speeds of the two bodies, L1 and L2 are the lengths of the two bodies. Okay, and T is the time taken. We will use plus if the bodies are moving in opposite direction, minus if the bodies are moving in the same direction. Point to be noted here is, in our case, S1 is a slower train. What is S2? Can somebody tell me what is S2? S2 is the faster train. Is it the faster train, S2? No. If you consider S2 be to the faster train, then you will go wrong. S2 is not the faster train. S2 is a man sitting inside the faster train. Understand, it took 9 seconds to cross what? To cross a man who was sitting inside the faster train. 9 seconds is not the time required to cross the faster train. It is the time required to cross the man who's sitting inside the faster train. So be very careful when you choose the bodies here, right? The man sitting inside the faster train. So based on that, you now substitute the values. Okay, now look at this. S1, what is S1 speed of slower train? 43 kilometers per hour. Should we use plus or minus? We should use plus. Why should we use plus? Because the bodies are moving in opposite directions. When the bodies are moving in opposite direction, use plus. If they're moving in the same direction, you have to use minus. What is S2? S1 was the speed of the slower train. What is S2? Speed of the man. Now as such, the man is sitting. Since the man is sitting, the speed should be 0 kilometers per hour. Right? The man is stationary. But then, the man is sitting inside a body which is moving at 51 kilometers per hour. You understand? Usually we take the speed of the man who's standing or sitting as 0. But this man is sitting inside a moving body and that body is moving at 51 kilometers per hour. So S2 should be taken as 51. So 43 plus 51 equals to L1 plus L2. L1 is the length of the slower train. What is L2? L2 will be 0. See, length of the man is 0. Most of us commit a mistake by taking L2 as length of the faster train. No. L2 is the length of the second body. What is the second body? Second body is a man who is inside the train. It's not the faster train. So take L2 as 0. If we take L2 as length of the faster train, then you will not be able to solve this question because there is only one equation that we have. Divided by the time taken is 9. Simple. Solve and you will get the answer. Now the only challenge here is left hand side is in kilometers per hour. 43 kilometers per hour, 53 kilometers per hour. Right hand side has got seconds here and he's asking us to find out the length in meters. So this is meters per second and this is kilometers per hour. So you better convert this kilometers per hour to meters per second. Convert kilometers per hour to meters per second. How do you do that? Multiply by 5 by 18. Yes or no? When you multiply kilometers per hour with 5 by 18, it gets converted to meters per second. We have discussed this conversion in the video. That's it. Solve for LS now. So 9 here goes 2 times. 43 plus 51 is how much? 94, right? 94. 94 by 2. 94 by 2 is 47. So the length of the slower train is going to be 5 into 47. 5 into 47 is 235. 235 meters. Option 1 is going to be the answer. Again, it's not a lengthy solution. All you will put on paper is these two steps. Don't write the formula and waste your time. Option 1, 235. Okay. Is that clear to all of you? I'm sure many of you must have gone wrong in considering the length of the train as length of the second body as length of the faster train, and you were like wondering how to solve one equation in two variables. But if you observe this closely, there's only one variable, only one unknown value, which you can solve with one equation. So if you're all clear with this, we can take up the next one. By the way, you have your session on algebra coming up on Wednesday. For those who are not aware, you have a special session on the topic of algebra, which will be held on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Okay, so join us for that session as well. It will help you in your tier 2 examination. And I've got a lot of confirmation here. So let me present the next question. Here's the next one. A trader sold an article at a profit of 20%. Had he bought the article at 60% less price and sold it at rupees 90 less, then he would have gained 50%. What is the value of the cost price? What is the cost price basically? A standard question. It's just that the numbers are different, right? Standard one, you should be able to solve this in like 30-35 seconds. Got it? 150. Okay, let's take this now. A trader sold an article at a profit of 20%. Had he, understand, had he means what? If he bought that article at 60% less price and sold it at rupees 90 less, then he would have gained 50%. What is the value of the cost price? What is the value of the article basically, right? Value of the cost price is not a right statement, right? What is the cost price basically? What is the cost price in rupees? So he's bought an article at a profit of 20%. So let's assume the initial cost price is C, initial selling price is S, the profit is 20%. Implies what? If the profit is 20%, selling price will be 1.2 times of C. Yes or no? You know that if the profit is 20%, selling price will be 120% of cost price. Right? Selling price is always the cost price plus percentage profit in terms of cost price. So selling price will be cost price plus 20% of cost price, 1.2 times of cost price, right? Selling price is 1.2C. Now had he, let's look at the other condition. If he had bought that article at 60% less price, new price C dash is going to be what? 60% less, which means C minus 60% of C. Yes or no? Had he bought the article at 60% less price, so C dash will be C minus 60% of C. 60% of C is what? 0.6C. C minus 0.6C is 0.4C. Right? And sold it at rupees 90 less. The new selling price S dash would be what? 90 rupees less than this selling price. S minus 90. S minus 90. Yeah. So new cost price is 0.4C. New selling price is S minus 90. He would have gained 50%. The new profit would have been 50%. Which implies the new selling price S dash will be 1.5 times of C dash. Yes or no? S dash will be 1.5 times of C dash. That's it. Now it's all about substitution. So you know that S dash is S minus 90, but then S is 1.2C. So first substitute S equals to 1.2C here, and then this substitute this S dash in this place. So I'll directly write this, right? S is equal to 1.2C, 1.2C minus 90. This is S dash equals to 1.5 times of C dash. What is C dash? 0.4C. Solve. There's only one variable, one unknown value here, C. And that's what we need to find out. What is the cost price? C is equal to what is the question, right? Solve now. So 1.2C minus, how much is this? 1.5 into 0.4 is 0.6. So 1.2C minus 0.6C is 0.6C. 0.6C is equal to 90, which implies C will be 150. Yes or no? 900 by 6, 150. So 150, option 1 is the answer. Please do not look at the number of steps and get scared. You don't have to write all the steps. You don't have to write all the steps here. Just cut down all the, I mean, you know S is 1.2C. This is not required at all. This also is not required. C dash will be 0.4C, S will be S minus 90. And this will be 1.5C. You have to start from this step in my view. This is the solution. It boils down to only these two steps. All the other stuff here is just the data given in the question itself. Okay, so 150, option 1 will be the answer. Okay, Kranti there says classes for SBI clerk. Well, our classes for SBI clerk will start from next week. You will see the calendar getting updated very soon. And by the way, we are already doing a kind of a score booster at 4 p.m. every day. I'm sure all of you can see that as well. But then those things are available in your videos already. So we'll do some all the mock exam discussions from next week, which will help you get ready for your SBI clerk as well, right? So yeah, the answer to your question is next week. Just wait for the calendar to get updated. Should we go for the next one? Ayushi Singh says, is there a smart method? Well, I think this is simple, Ayushi. Don't judge the solution by the number of steps here. I mean, a lot of that is just the data. Other ways you can go by options as well, but then you have to be really quick in your calculation. Like I can assume the cost price to be 150 and apply whatever is given in the question and see if it is satisfied or not. Let me explain that as well, right? How to go by options. I don't say that it is a smart method, but you should know how to use options here, right? So suppose you use options, what happens? I'll go one by one. Let's say I use option 1. According to option 1, cost price is 150. Now look at first statement. Profit was 20%. Implies selling price will be what? 120% of 150. It will be 180 rupees. Now it says he bought the article at 60% less. So C dash will be what? 150 minus 60% of 150. So it will be only 40% of 150, which is 60 rupees. What will be S dash? 90 less. 180 minus 90. What is the profit here? Check the profit P dash. See, what is 60 rupees? What has been bought for 60 rupees has been sold for 90 rupees. So how much is the profit? 50%. Satisfied or not? Yes, that's what he said. He would have gained 50%. I am getting the same 50% here, which implies the cost price was correct. Because if the cost price is not correct, then the profit will not be correct according to the question. So option 1 is the answer, right? Suppose if I take option 2, see how option 2 will go wrong. According to option 2, cost price is 200. Now since the profit is 20%, I can say the selling price, initial selling price will be 240. Now look at the new cost price. The new cost price is 60% less than this. 60% less of 200 will be 80. Basically 60% less means it is 40% of this value. 40% of 200 is 80. What will be the new selling price S dash? It was 90 less. So 240 minus 90, 150. Now what was bought for 80 rupees has been sold for 150 rupees. Is this a 50% profit? No, it's not a 50% profit. Yes or no? I want a 50% profit. Is this giving me a 50% profit? No. For 80 rupees, 50% profit would mean selling price should be 120. So this is wrong. Similarly, you will find that 3 and 4 are also wrong. Of course, we don't have to verify 2, 3, 4 once you have got the answer as option 1. But in case, let's say 150 is given in some other place, option 2 or option 3 or option 4, this is how you can go by options. Again, don't put pen on paper. These calculations have to be done mentally. Right? So what I'm trying to tell you here is that the smart method is to get smarter with your numbers. You know, sharpen your tool of numerical ability, and then you will be able to solve these questions faster, no doubt. Right? Should we take the next one? Okay, let's take the next question, which is on ages, the concept of ages. Here we go. Present age of A is 2 times the present age of B. After 8 years, the B's age will be 4 times of C's present age. If C celebrated his 5th birthday 9 years ago, then what is the present age in years of A? Try this out. Slightly different from what we usually solve. I'm sure you'll be able to crack it. Geeta Paul has asked a question. On Friday, do we have a session only on trigonometry questions, or other chapters are also included in this? No. If the session is scheduled for trigonometry, we'll have only trigonometry based questions, nothing else. Correct? Okay, many others have responded, so let's take this up now. See what it says. Present age of A is 2 times the present age of B. After 8 years, the B's age will be 4 times of C's present age. If C celebrated his 5th birthday 9 years ago, then what is the present age of A? So just go by the question. I mean, English sentences have been given. Convert this to mathematical equations. Simple. So let's assume that present ages are A, B, C respectively, right? Present age of A is A, that of B is B, and present age of C is C. Now read the first statement. Present age of A is 2 times the present age of B, which implies A is equal to 2B. After 8 years, after 8 years, B's age will be 4 times of C's present age. See, after 8 years, what will be B's age? B plus 8. If the present age is B, after 8 years, the age will be B plus 8. So after 8 years, B's age will be, which means it will be equal to 4 times of C's present age. 4 into C. Don't take 4 times of C plus 8. He says C's present age, very clearly C's present age. It will be 4 times of C's present age, not C's age after 8 years. It is C's present age. Next, if C celebrated his 5th birthday 9 years ago. See, C celebrated 5th birthday 9 years ago. Means what? How will you convert this to an equation? C celebrated 5th birthday 9 years ago, which means present age is C. If you go back 9 years, C minus 9, it was 5. C's age 9 years ago was 5 years. C celebrated 5th birthday, means C's age was 5 years. When? 9 years ago. So C minus 9 is equal to 5. That's it. So if C minus 9 is 5, C will be equal to 14. 9 plus 5, 14. If C is 14, then can I say B plus 8 is equal to 4 into 14, 56. Which means B is equal to 56 minus 8, 48. If B is 48, what is A? A will be 2 times of 48, which is 96. That's what he's asking. What is the present age of A? 96. Option 2. Nothing complex about it. And you get such questions in your Tier 2 examination, which is not difficult in terms of time management as well. So you really have to just make sure that you go through the questions thoroughly, answer them correctly, and answer as many questions as possible in that time given to you, which is enough to attempt all the questions in my view, right? Let's take the next one. I have another question which is similar to what we have solved a few minutes ago. Let me just throw this again and see how many of you get the right answer. Okay, here we go. A train travels 40% faster than a car. Both start from point A at the same time and reach point B 140 km away at the same time. On the way, the train takes 25 minutes for stopping at the stations. What is the speed of the train? Now, going by what we have discussed already, and the same question with different values, right? You should be able to solve it very easily. So distance 140 will be equal to speed of the train, which is 1.4 times the speed of the car, into time taken by the train, which is t minus 25 by 60. Solve for speed of the train. Option 2, good. Option 2, 134.4 is the only answer I see here, right? Nilab, Chandrahas, Sautrik, Ajit, and Neeraj. Let's solve this. So here we go. A train travels 40% faster than a car. Both start from point A at the same time and reach point B, which is 140 km away, at the same time. On the way, the train takes 25 minutes for stopping at the stations. What is the speed in kilometers per hour of the train? Now let's assume speed of the car is s, which implies speed of the train will be 1.4 s because it travels 40% faster. Yeah. Let's assume time taken by the car is t. So time taken by the train will be t minus 25 minutes because it stops for 25 minutes in various stations. But then convert this minutes to hours. It becomes 25 minus t minus 25 by 60. Yeah, that's it. Now look at this. We know that distance is equal to speed into time. How much is the distance covered by the train? 140 kilometers. So can I say 140 is equal to speed into time? What is the speed of the train? 1.4 s into what is the time? T minus 25 by 60. Solve for this. What happens? So you'll get 140 equals to 1.4 into s into t. S into t. See, s into t, we know that s into 2 is equals to 140. Speed of the car into time taken by the car is equal to 140 kilometers, right? The distance is speed into time. So s 1.4 into s into t, that s into t is 140. So into 140 minus 1.4 s into 25 by 60. Solve for s, we'll get the answer. So what happens? 1.4 into 140 minus 140. So that becomes 0.4 into 140, which is equal to 1.4 into s into 25 by 60. I hope you are able to follow the solution, right? I've taken 140 common, so 1.4 minus 1 is 0.4. 0.4 into 140 equals to 1.4 times s into 25 by 60. Now, if you see this decimal here and decimal here gets cancelled, 14 goes 10 times, this becomes 40. So speed of the car will be 40 into 60 by 25. I'm not simplifying it here because I have to do one more calculation, right? See, this is what speed of the car. He's asking us to find out the speed of the train. What is the speed of the train? 1.4 times of the speed of the car. 1.4 into speed of the car, which is 40 into 60 by 25. Solve. I think this is like 8 times and 5 times. This is like 12 times. 8 into 12, 96. 96 into 1.4. 96 into 1.4 will be 134.4, right? 96 plus 38.4. 96 plus 38.4, 134.4. Correct. It's just playing with numbers. Again, I think this time again I have written all the data which is, you know, actually not required. Like these things we know. This is given in the question itself, right? You have to start from this step and solve for S. So option 2, 134.4 is the answer there. 134.4. Should we go for the next one? I think we have a few more questions. We can take those and then close the session. Should we go for the next one? Yeah? All right, let me present the next question, which is on some kind of mixture there, right? So here we go. Try this. All right, so waiting for your responses to this one. 3 containers have their volumes in the ratio 3:4:5. They are full of mixtures of milk and water. The mixtures contain milk and water in the ratios of 4:1, 3:1 and 5:2 respectively. The contents of all these 3 containers are poured into a 4th container. The ratio of milk and water in the 4th container is 157:53. I can see some of you have got the answer, I'm sure. I'm sure you all know how to go about it, right? I mean, you just have to deal with those numbers there. Chalo, let's take this up. 3 containers have their volumes in the ratio 3:4:5. They are full of mixtures of milk and water. The mixtures contain milk and water in the ratio of 4:1, 3:1 and 5:2 respectively. The contents of all these 3 containers are poured into a 4th container. The ratio of milk and water in the 4th container is, right? So basically he's talking about 3 containers, right? 3 containers which have their volumes in the ratio of 3:4:5. Okay, now they are full of mixtures. Understand, each of these containers is full of mixtures. Full with what? Mixtures of milk and water. But then each container has got its own proportion of milk to water, right? Like for example, he says the mixtures contain milk and water in the ratio of 4:1, 3:1 and 5:2 respectively, right? So the first container has got milk and water in the ratio of 4:1. The second one, which has got its volume in the, you know, in this proportionality given here, has got milk and water in the ratio of 3:1, and the third one has got milk and water in the ratio of 5:2. All these 3 containers are poured into a 4th one. So all these contents are poured into a 4th one. What will be the ratio of milk to water in the 4th container is the question here. Simple, you just have to understand M1 is to, don't write these steps on paper in the exam. I'm trying to explain this to you. M1 is to W1 is 4:1. M2 is to W2 is 3:1 and M3 is to W3 is 5:2. Okay, and understand the volumes of the containers. V1 is to V2 is to V3 is 3:4:5. So V1 has got milk and water in this ratio, V2 has got milk and water in this ratio, V3 has got milk and water in this ratio. All these 3 are mixed. So what will be the final ratio of milk and water is the question. Let me directly write what you need to work with, right? See, understand. Let's take total milk is to total water. M1 is what? M is what? M1 plus M2 plus M3, right? This represents M1 plus M2 plus M3. What does W represent here? W1 plus W2 plus W3. Total milk is to total water. That's what you have to do. Now what is M1? How do you calculate M1? See, the ratio is 4:1. So it will be 4 by 5. Out of total 3. Let's say the volume is 3 liters, 4 liters and 5 liters. The volume of container 1 is 3 liters, volume of container 2 is 4 liters and that of container 3 is 5 liters. So out of 3 liters, how much is milk? 4 by 5. 4 by 5 into 3. Plus, in the second container where the volume is 4 liters, how much is milk? 3 by 4 into 4. Plus, in the third container where the volume is 5 liters, how much is milk? 5 by 7 into 5 liters. This is total milk. Is to total water. Is to total water. How much is total water? See, if 4 by 5, simple, you don't have to look at the ratios now. If 4 by 5 is milk, 1 by 5 is water. With the same total quantity, 3 liters. If 3 by 4 is milk, remaining 1/4 is water. Right? And if 5 by 7 is milk, remaining 2/7 is water. Simplify. Total milk, total water. Take the ratio. Upon simplification, you will get 157:53. There's no other way out. I mean, you just have to do this calculation quickly, right? This will like 12 by 5 plus 12 by 4 plus 25 by 7 is to 3 by 5 plus 4 by 4 plus 10 by 7. Take the LCM and get the ratio, right? I mean, I'm not spending our time here in simplifying that for you. I'm sure you can do it yourself. In fact, all of you have got the right answer already. 157:53. Yeah. Clear? Should we go for the next one? Yeah, I think I can go for the next one. All of you had got option 3. Starting from Pittu, Bhavani, Santosh, Mahata, Sautrik, Kishore, Chandrahas, Neeraj and Milan. Let me take up the next one, which is on time and work. In fact, time and work involving wages there. Okay. So let's do this. And before that, I have a comment here from Ayushi who says, can you take up more questions like this of this type when some part is removed and the ratio becomes so and so? I'm not able to solve questions of those type. Ayushi, I think we have solved enough questions of those type already. Some original videos are there, then a lot of questions have been solved through doubts clarification sessions as well. You can just check out the advanced examples for your reference. And even otherwise, if there's anything that you're not able to solve, please feel free to post it in the discussion forum and we will take it up. We will either respond to you in the discussion forum or solve it through a live class. All right. Let me present the next one to you all, which is from time and work, and this is based on the wages, right? Interesting concept. Long question. Let's see how many of you get the right answer. Here we go. So S, T and U can complete a work in 40, 48 and 60 days respectively. They received rupees 10,800 to complete the work. They began the work together, but T left 2 days before the completion of the work and U left 5 days before the completion of the work. S has completed the remaining work alone. What is the share of S from the total money? Solve this. Done? Okay, I think we have spent enough time already. Let's discuss the solution now. Here we go. S, T and U can complete a work in 40, 48 and 60 days respectively. They received rupees 10,800 to complete the work. They began the work together, but T left 2 days before the completion of the work and U left 5 days before the completion of the work. S has completed the remaining work alone. What is the share of S in rupees from the total money? Options, of course, have been given to you: 4,000, 4,320, 4,500 or 4,860. So he's talking about 3 persons, S, T and U, who can complete a work in 40, 48 and 60 days respectively. They received total how much? 10,800 to complete the work. So let's assume the total work to be done is W, for which the amount paid was 10,800. Now, they all begin the work together, but T leaves 2 days before the completion and U left 5 days before the completion. S has completed the remaining work alone. So only 2 people leave. T leaves 2 days before completion and U leaves 5 days before completion. S continues and he completes the remaining work. What is the share of S from the total money? Now, first of all, let us find out. See, basically the idea is simple. For the total work W, you have paid a total of 10,800. What do I have to find out? I have to find out of this total work W, what portion has been done by S. So that portion of 10,800 should be given to S. Simple. Suppose half of the work has been done by S out of total work W. If half is done by S, then half of 10,800 should be given to S. If only 1/10 is done by S, then 1/10 should be given to S. Simple, right? Now, how will you find out what portion has been done by S? First of all, let us find out the total number of days required to complete the work. In how many days the work got over, right? In how many days the work has gotten over. Understand, you know that S's capacity is 1/40. In one day he can do 1/40. T in one day can do 1/40. Don't write this in the exam, by the way, right? And U in one day can do 1/60. These are their capacities. Let's assume the total time taken to do the work was D days. Total time in which the work got over was D days. Total time in which the work got over was D days. Now, how do you arrive at the equation which can help you get D? Simple. See, you know that from the beginning S has worked. S did not leave the job at all, right? S was there from the start till the end, right? S was there throughout the process. Okay, so S worked for how many days? D days. In one day he can do 1/40. In D days he will do D/40, right? Plus T. This is for S. Next comes T. T left 2 days before the completion of the work, which means if the total work was done in D days, T worked only for D minus 2 days, right or not? T worked only for D minus 2 days. At what rate? 1/48. So in one day if he can do 1/48, in D minus 2 days he did D minus 2/48. Plus the last person is U. U left 5 days before the completion. See, the total work was done in D days. U left 5 days before that, which means D minus 5. Divided by his capacity is 1/60. So D minus 5 into 1/60. D minus 5/60. This will give me the total work. Total work is 1 unit. Generally total work is taken as 1 unit, right? W. That's 1 unit. Solve for D. This is the most important equation. Solve for D. You understand? Point I'm trying to make is out of the total work of 1 unit, this was done by S, this was done by T, and this was done by U. So S work done by S plus work done by T plus work done by U is equal to the total work W. That's the point. How much did S do? S can do 1/40 per day. He worked for D days. T can do 1/48 per day. He worked for D minus 2 days. U can do 1/60 per day. He worked for D minus 5 days. Why D minus 2 and D minus 5 here? Because they left 2 days and 5 days before the completion of the work respectively. Solve for D. Let's solve for D. So what is the LCM here? I think we can take the LCM as 240, right? Let's take 240. So 40 goes 6 times, 6D. 48 goes 5 times, so 5D minus 10. You understand? 48 is 5 times in 240, right? So 5 into D minus 5 into 2, so 5D minus 10. Plus 60 goes how many times here? 4 times in 240. So 4D minus 4 into 5, 20. Yeah, 4 times of D minus 5, 4D minus 20 equals to 1. Solve now, solve for D. So what happens? 6D plus 5D plus 4D, 6 plus 5, 11 plus 4, 15D. 15D minus 30 equals to 240. So 15D equals to 240 plus 30, 270. So what is D from this one? D is 270 by 15. 15 goes how many times? I think 10 times plus 120, right? 8 times, 18 times. D is equal to 18. So the total work was done in 18 days, of which S worked for all the 18 days, T worked only for 16 days, and U worked only for 13 days. However, our requirement here is what? What is the share of S? How much did S get out of total money? How much work did S do? D by 40. So work done by S. How much is the work done by S? D by 40, which is equal to 18 by 40. That's it. If he has done 18 by 40, amount of S should be what? 18 by 40 times of total amount. Out of total work W, he has done 18 by 40. So out of total amount of, what is that? 10,800, he should get 18 by 40. Simplify this. 0 anyway gets cancelled. 1080 by 40, it's 250 plus 20, 270. 18 into 270, so 5,400 minus 540, 4,900 minus 40, 4,860, 4860. Option 4 has to be the answer, 4860. Similarly, suppose he says what is the share of T? T has done how much? D minus 2 by 48, which means D minus 2, 16 by 48, 1/3. So T will get 1/3 of total amount. Similarly, you will get D minus 5 by 60, 13 by 60 of total amount. That's how we can find out the individual amounts. So final answer is option 4. I hope all of you have got it. Yeah, 4860. Yes, Nilab has marked 4860, which is correct. Clear? I hope all of you have followed this. Please do not go by the length of the explanation. I was giving a detailed explanation with all the steps being put on paper. If you cut down the number of steps, unnecessary steps, and only write what is really required, you can solve this question in about 40-45 seconds. Yeah, or maximum 1 minute, not more than that. So 4860, option 4. Neeraj Jha says, where can we pose doubts regarding logical reasoning? I have forgotten where to pose the same. Neeraj, what's wrong with you? Pose the doubts in discussion forums. It is reasoning, so post it in reasoning forum. If it is quantitative aptitude, post it in quantitative aptitude forum. If it is English language, post it in the English language forum. Yeah. Karthikeyan says alternate method for this problem. Karthikeyan, I cannot think of an alternate method here, because for us to solve the question, I mean, for us to find out the share of S, we should know what is the share of work that he has done. And for us to find out the share of work that he has done, we have to find out the total number of days. Only then we can find out his share. So I don't see an alternate method. I'm not sure. If there's any, I'll get back to you. Let's not get into that detail, but I think that's the way you do. That's the easiest way I can think of at the moment. See, if all of them work from the starting till the end, then number of days are not required. You understand? Usually, if all the 3 persons start the work and they work till the end, then we don't worry about the number of days, because all of them have worked for same number of days, right? So their share will be directly based on their capacities. 1/40 is to 1/48 is to 1/60. You have to get that ratio, and then in that ratio you have to divide the total amount. But here we're not worried about the ratio, because I have actually found how much of the work has been done by the person himself. What portion of the work, and same portion of the amount, total amount, should be given to that person. You're getting it? Should we go for the next one now? I hope this is clear to all of you. Yeah, so let's take the next question. The next one is from averages, where he's talking about a group of 20 students whose average age is 21 years. 2 students leave this group, 1 student joins the group. There's some changes that happen in the average. The age of the person who joined and what age of one of the persons who left is given. We have to find out the age of the other person. Why am I explaining all this? Let's look at the question directly. So here's the next one. Solve this quick. Average age of 20 students is 21 years. 2 students leave the group and 1 new student joins the group. The average now becomes 20 years. If age of one of the student who left the group is 26 years and the one who joined is 20 years, then what is the age of the other student who left the group? Anyone who's got the answer? Pittu has got 16, Neeraj has got 16, Chandra, Neeraj and Ayushi have also got 16. Yeah, Amit Kumar, yes. Let's take this up. See what it says. Average age of 20 students is 21 years. 2 students leave the group and 1 new student joins the group. The average now becomes 20 years. If the age of one of the students who left the group is 26 years and the one who joined is 20 years, then what is the age in years of the other student who left the group? Yeah. So it says there are 20 students, average is 21 years. 2 students from these 20 students leave the group and 1 new student joins the group. The average now becomes 20 years. This is the key point. The average now has become 20 years. Now, the age of one student who left the group is 26 years and the one who joined is 20 years. Then what is the age of the other student who left the group? See, understand, 20 students, the average is 21 years. Implies the sum of the ages of 20 students is equal to what? 20 into 21. You know, right? Sum of the ages is equal to the average into the number of students, right? So 20 into 21, how much is that? 420 years. This is the total age of the entire group, 420 years. Now let's focus on this point. He says the average now becomes 20 years. When does the average become 20 years? After 2 people left the group and 1 person joined the group. 2 students left the group and 1 new student joined this group. Then the average becomes 20 years, right? So let's work on that. Now, the new average, let's say average dash is equal to 20. How do you calculate average? Sum of all the values divided by number of values. Now, how do you get the sum? Sum is like this. You see, total sum is 420 of all the students. Total sum of all the, sum of ages of all the students is 420. Now, from this 2 students left. So subtract their ages. See, 1 student who left the group was 26 years. I'll subtract his age, minus 26. The other student's age, let's assume, is A. So from 420, we have subtracted the ages of those 2 students who have left the group. Now let's add that student who joined the group. The one who joined the group is 20 years. So plus 20. You getting it? The total age of all the 20 students was 420. From this, we have subtracted 26 years, the age of that student who left the group, and the age of that other student who left the group, which is A. We have added 20 here because a new person joined this group, right? Who was 20 years old. Divide by, this is the sum of their ages, divided by number of students. How do you get the number of students? Initially, there were 20 students. From that group, 2 students left and 1 student joined. This is equal to 20. The average is 20. You see, the new average is 20. The average now becomes 20 years. I think solving for A should give you the answer. Yeah? So let's solve for this. What happens? See, 20 minus 2 is 18. 18 plus 1 is 19. So this is 19. So finally, what do we get? 420. 420 minus 26 is 394. 394 plus 20 is 314. So 314, sorry. Just solve for A basically. So let me, 420 minus 26 is 394. 394 plus 20 is 414. So 414 minus A is equal to 20 into 19, 380. So A should be what? A should be 414 minus 380, which is giving me 34 years. What is wrong? It's not there in the options. Hold on. There are 20 students, the average is 21 years. So some of the ages will be 20 times 21, 420. 2 students have left the group. Why am I getting 34 years? 34 years, it's not there in the options. According to me, option 1, option 2, option 3, option 4, all are wrong. Now my worry is most of you got 14 years. How do you get 14 years? I think the answer is 34 years. 34 years, which is not there. Or I would rather say option 5, 34. This is the correct answer. If I try and do it the other way, like mentally, what happens? Forget about one person. Instead of saying 2 persons have left and 1 person has joined, you see the person who has gone out is 26 years old. I'm just verifying if 34 is the answer or not. Who has gone out is 26 years. Who has come in is 20 years. That means we have lost 6 years from the group. We have lost 6 years from the group, right? We have lost 6 years from the group and we have lost 1 person from the group. You understand? Instead of saying minus 2 persons out and 1 person in, and 1 person in, I am saying 1 person out. It is equivalent to 1 person out, going out, right? But then you have to balance out the other person who has gone out and the person who has come in, right? So the person who has gone out was 26 years old and the person who's come in is 20 years old. So minus 26 from the group and plus 20 to the group. So minus 6 years. So basically the group has lost 6 years. So group has lost one person plus 6 years. Yes or no? The total value of the group has reduced by 6 years, and also one person is gone out. But by doing this, the average reduced by how much? See, the average now becomes 20. Yes or no? So for these 19%, the average is 20. Otherwise, the average was how much? 21. That means eventually this person who has gone out, I mean, if you assume that this is only one person overall, one person who has gone out plus 6 years as one person, this one person has resulted in a loss of how much? Overall, earlier all the persons were 21 years. Now all the 19 persons are 20 years. Which means the total loss is how much? The one person who's gone out, the average now becomes 20 years. Earlier the average was 21 years. Okay, let me check how you guys got 14. Somebody here has given the answer 14. Pittu has given the answer 420 minus of 26 plus x equals to 380 minus 20. Yeah, so what happens? 380 minus 20 is 360. 420 minus 360 is 60. 60 minus 26 is 34. So Pittu, you are getting 34 only, right? Amit Kumar says 21 minus of 26 plus x minus 20 by 20 equals to 20. So 420, 400. Now Amit, you have to explain what you are trying to do. I think the answer should be 34 years. How are you getting 14? How are you guys getting 14? And now others have confirmed, right? Chandrahas Yadav says, I am also getting 34. Pittu has now says, yes, I was also getting 34 years 3 to 4 times. So you guys have to be confident about whatever you have done. I mean, see, it's not there in the options, I agree, but you should mention that I'm getting 34. Pittu says, options ही गलत है सारे. लग तो ऐसा ही रहा है कि options गलत है. How do you all get 14 years? I mean, not one, but most of you marked 14, right? Everybody marked 14 here. Starting from Neeraj, Mahata, Amit Kumar, Priyatam, Venkat Reddy, Kishore. How? Amit initially marked 16, Neeraj marked 16, Ajit marked 16. All of you initially marked 16, then somehow it changed to 14, and eventually we find out that the answer is actually 34. Options are misguiding us. Why do you have to go by options? It's a simple case, right? Calculate the new average. The new average is 20. Just take that up. So does it mean that you guys copy your answers? I mean, like one person, 1 or 2 persons get the answer and others just copy it, huh? Is that what's happening? 34 is the right answer in my view. And I was worried for 2 reasons. One is that 34 is not there in the options. Second is that everybody has got 34. Everybody has got 14. So like wondering, how is that 14 is not coming out to be the right answer. So what should I conclude from this? Are you guys just copying answers posted by others or actually solving it and posting it here? Huh? So I think time is also up. It's 8 o'clock. We'll have to close it now. I mean, so questions are just like these, right? You just have to be very thorough with your basics. Mata says, why is 26 plus x equals to 40 not correct? I don't understand how do you get 26 plus x equals to 40? How did you get it 40? others have also got same equation, 26 plus x equals to 40. Sorry, something is wrong with the air conditioner here. Yeah, what do you guys do to get 14? Amit Kumar says 21 minus 26 plus x minus 20. Okay, Mahata says 21 into 20 is 420 and 20 into 19 is 380. So 420 minus 380 is 40. But then, see, you have only taken the difference of, I have understood what you guys are doing now. You have only taken the difference of the two groups. First group's total is 420, second group's total is 380. So the difference is 40. Now you are saying this 40 should be equal to this difference of 40 is because of the two persons who have gone out. So one is 26 years old, the other is how many years old? But won't you consider the person who has come in? There's also one person who has joined the group, right? You understand, Mahata? You are considering the difference in the two groups. The difference in the two groups is 40 years, I understand. But that difference in the two groups is because of what? Because of two persons going out and one person coming in. So you cannot say 26 plus x is equal to 40. It is 26 plus x minus 20 that is equal to 40. Yeah? See, if only one person goes out and one person comes in, then this can be done. What you're doing is right. I mean, that's why I say don't follow this shortcut techniques. No, this is like one technique that you use. Take the difference of the two groups, and the difference is because of the person who is going out. So that's the answer. That's not the way it's happening here, right? Here, that difference of 40 has come in because of what? Because two persons left one group, two persons going out and one person coming in. So 26 plus x minus 20 should result in the difference of 40, right? Or am I confused? I'm not sure. I think it should be 34 only. It cannot be 14. All of you have done that 20 minus 6, 14 is the answer. Without considering that there is a third person involved. It's not just two persons. Can we go for the next one now? I think one last question before we close the session today. Neeraj says I only knew that the answer should end with 4, and since there was only one option that satisfied it, I marked it. All those who have got 14, just check your response once. It's not 14, it should be 34. Okay, let me present the last question to you all from this session on SSC CGL Tier 2 exam refresher. This is on number theory and the question is on your screens now. How many numbers are there from 700 to 950, including both, which are neither divisible by 3 nor by 7? Interesting question. How many numbers are there from 700 to 950, including both the numbers which are neither divisible by 3 nor divisible by 7? Alright, so time is up. I think others are not getting it. So let's solve this now. Here we go. How many numbers are there from 700 to 950, including both which are neither divisible by 3 nor by 7? So simple one-line question. He's asking us to find out the number of numbers. How many numbers are there from 700 to 950, including both the numbers which are neither divisible by 3 nor divisible by 7, right? Now, for the sake of simplicity, I'll start from, see, 7, instead of taking 700 to 950, let me take 0 to 250, for example, right? Instead of taking this range of 700 to 950, let's take 0 to 250. 0 to 250. That means total 250 numbers. There are total 250 numbers, right? Now in these 250 numbers, how many are there which are neither divisible by 3 nor divisible by 7. Simple, you have to just go by divisibility rules, right? So from 0 to 250, see, instead of finding out which are neither divisible by 3 nor divisible by 7, let's find out numbers divisible by 3. Divisible by 3. How many will be divisible by 3? Simple, you just have to take 250 divided by 3. The modulus of 250 divided by 3. How much will this be? Say 250 by 3 will be 83. There will be 83 numbers which are divisible by 3. Yes or no? Numbers which are divisible by 3. So divide 250 by 3. See, in 250 by 3, I'll get 83 multiples of 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 and so on up to, I think, 248. Up to 248. You're getting it? 83 numbers. What are these 83 numbers? 3, 6, 9, 12 and so on up to, 30, 33, 240, then 243, 246. And 249, yeah, last number 249. 249 also divisible by 3. So these will be total 83 numbers. Similarly, how many are divisible by 7? How many are divisible by 7? Same. You divide 250 by 7 and find out the integer part. Basically the multiples of 7. How many multiples of 7? So 210 plus 48. So I think you will get 35 such numbers. You're able to follow. What are we doing? Only take the quotient. Divide 250 by 3, take the quotient. 250 by 3 is 83. The quotient is 83. I'm not taking the remainder. Similarly, 250 by 7, the quotient is 35. So there will be 35 such numbers. What are these 35 numbers? Starting from 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42 and so on up to 70 and then so on up to 210, 217, right? And then finally you'll get 245. 245 will be the last multiple of 7. After 245 it becomes 252, but 250 cannot be considered because we are taking the range only as 0 to 250, including both 0 and 250 here. But understand, see, how many numbers are divisible by 3? 83 numbers. How many numbers are divisible by 7? 35 numbers. So if I have to find out the total number of numbers divisible by 3 and 7, numbers divisible by 3 and 7, can I simply take 83 plus 35? No, you cannot take 83 plus 35. Why is it so? Why can't we say numbers which are divisible by 3 and 7 as 83 plus 35? Because there will be a lot of common numbers in between. Like for example, here if you see in these 83 numbers and in these 35 numbers, there will be some common numbers. For example, 15 and so on. After some time we'll get 21. 21 and 21 are common. Remember, here we will get 42 somewhere in between. 42 is a multiple of 3. Here also 42 is a multiple of 7. 240 is a multiple of, okay, 240, forget about 240, sorry, 240 is not a multiple of 7. But then 210 is a multiple of 3. Yes or no? Somewhere you will find 210. 210 also is a multiple of 3. 210 is also a multiple of 7. So these are all common multiples. So those common multiples have to be subtracted. So that is the reason it cannot be taken as 83 minus 35. What do we have to do? We have to find out the number. See, then take the LCM of 7 and 3. So these all these numbers are, you see, divisible by 21, 41, 42, 210. So these are all divisible by LCM of 3 and 7, right? Which is equal to nothing but the numbers divisible by 21. How many numbers will be divisible by 21? 250 divided by 21. This will give you what? 11. 210 plus 21, 231, right? Then it will be 252. So yeah, so 11 numbers, 11 such numbers. So there are 11 numbers. There are 11 numbers in between. 11 numbers in between which are common to both 3 and 7. These are all 11 numbers are all multiples of 3 as well as 7. So these 11 numbers have been counted twice. See, what are these 11 numbers? These 11 numbers are all 21, 42, 63, 84. You're getting it? And then 105 and so on. 210 and so on. These are all multiples of both 3 as well as 11, right? 3 as well as 7, right? Divisible by 3 and 7, divisible by 3 and 7, 3 and 7, 3 and 7 and so on. So all these have to be removed once because they have been counted twice. You're getting it? So numbers divisible only by 3 are 83, numbers divisible by 7 are 35, numbers divisible by their multiples are 11. Yeah. So that's why I said if you have to find out the total number of numbers which are divisible by 3 and 7, you cannot take simply 83 plus 35. This would be wrong. It should be taken as 83 plus 35 minus 11. That's why 83 plus 35 was wrong. Why was 83 and 35 wrong? Because by adding 83 and 35, we are counting these 11 numbers twice. So I have to remove that once. So I'll take 83 plus 35 minus 11. What is 83 plus 35 minus 11? 83 plus 35 is 118. 180 minus 11 is 107. So there are 107 numbers which are divisible by 3 or 7. Basically not and, it should be or. I'm sorry. 3 or 7. Numbers divisible by 3 or 7. You're getting it? Numbers which are divisible by 3 or 7. So you cannot say 83 plus 35. 83 plus 35 minus 11. 107 numbers. 107 numbers are divisible by 3 or 7. But then understand, the question is how many numbers are there in the range, whatever the range is, which are neither divisible by 3 nor by 7. Now numbers neither divisible by 3 nor by 7. Numbers are neither divisible by 3 nor by 7. How will you get? Total there are 250 numbers. From these 250 numbers, if I subtract all these 107 numbers, see, out of 250, out of this total 250 numbers, from 0 to 250, from these 250 numbers, we have found that 107 are either divisible by 3 or 7. So from 250 numbers, if I subtract these 107 numbers, I'll get the rest, which are neither divisible by 3 nor by 7. Remaining all are not divisible by 3 or 7, right? So 250 minus 107. You're getting it? 250 minus 107. What is 250 minus 107? 250 minus 107 will be 143. 143. Total there are 140 numbers. Total there are 140 numbers. You're getting it? Understand, this is not the final answer, because of course 143 is not there in the options. Even if 143 is there, you cannot mark 143 as the answer. Why? Because we have considered the range as 0 to 250. While the number of numbers are 250, understand, the actual range is 700 to 950. So answer will change. I have just explained you the process. So what do? We will find out all the multiples of 3. The number of multiples of 3 in that range. We got 83. Number of multiples of 7. We got 35. Then you have to find out the LCM of 3 and 7 and find out those multiples of that number. We got 11. Finally, it will be 83 plus 35 minus 11. I have explained you why minus 11, because 11 numbers have been counted twice. 107. These 107 are the numbers which are divisible by 3 or 7. I want the numbers which are neither divisible by 3 nor by 7. So from total 250 numbers, I'll subtract these 107 numbers to get 143 as the answer. Right? But understand, the actual case is different. Let me explain the actual case. So what I'll do is I'll not erase anything. I'll change the color of the pen and explain you what has actually happened. Actual range is what? Actual range is not 0 to 250. Actual range is 700 to 950. Actual range is 700 to 950. Yes or no? How many numbers are there from 700 to 950? Don't say 950 minus 700, 250. It will not be 250. It will be 251 numbers. It will be 251 numbers. 950 minus 700 is 250, which is correct. But when you say 950 minus 700, you are excluding 700 also. Remember, both have to be included, including both. 700 should also be included. So we should take 250 plus 1. You have to consider 700 as well. 950 has been considered. When I say 250, 950 has been considered. 700 has not been considered. So 250 plus 1, 251. Then you may say, in that case, why didn't we take 0? In the earlier case also, when it was 0 to 250, we said 250 minus 0. But then 0 is not a number in that range. 0, is neither a multiple of 3 nor a multiple of 7. I mean, it's not divisible by 3 or 7. Huh? I mean, if it is 1 to 250, strictly speaking, even if I, let's say, replace this with 1 to 250, even then the answer will be 251. In that case, the answer will be 251. Because both have to be included, right? 1 and 250 both have to be included. In that case also the answer will be 250 only. You're starting from 1, you're ending at 250. Total there are 250 numbers only. Yeah. But I'm starting from 10 and ending at 260, then there will be 251 numbers. I hope you are able to follow the concept here. Yeah. If I'm starting from 10 and ending at 260, so don't say that both have increased by 10, so total will remain 250 only. In that case, the total will become 251 numbers. Because when I'm starting from 10 and ending at 260, so 260 minus 10 is 250, but then 10 number has been excluded. That 10 has to be counted. You're getting it? So it will be 250 plus 1, 251 in that case. You getting it? Both are included. So 700 to 950. 950 minus 700 plus 1, 251. Right? Now divisible by 3. See, understand, while 250 by 3, 83 numbers is correct. While 250 by 3, 83 is correct. This time, I mean, you can say 251 by 3 actually. 251 by 3, right? What is 251 by 3? You understand? The total number of numbers are 251, right? Let me change the color of the pen. Yeah. So numbers divided by 3. In which range? In this 251 numbers. But the point to be noted is it is starting with 700. So you understand what will be the first multiple? What will be the first multiple when we are starting from 700? 702. 702 is divisible by 3. Then 705. Then 708. You're getting it? You forget about all these numbers because these were from 0 to 250. You understand? The number need not be same. Because there it was 83. Because there it was 83 doesn't mean that here also it will be 83. You have to actually count it. It may change. It may vary. Right? So be very careful. So 702 is a multiple of 3. First multiple of 3 after 700. Then 705, 708 and so on up to what will be the last multiple? Can somebody tell me what will be the last multiple? See 950, right? I think 948 will be a multiple of 3. 948. I'll tell you, this technique will not work. 250 divided by 3, taking the modulus of that is not going to help. Because the range is different. It's not from 0. It's from 700 to 950. So you have to be a little careful. So starting from 702, 705 and so on, find out the last number, 948. You understand? 948. Now how will you kind of count the total number of numbers? Not this way. Not this way. What you have to do is 948. See, understand, if from 948, if I subtract 702 and divide by 3, I'll get a result. Check that. How much is that? 948 minus 702. That will be 246. 246 by 3 is how much? 246 by 3 is 82. But to that 82, I have to add 1. Again, the same logic here. What I explained earlier, right? See, from 948, if I subtract 702, I am getting the difference of these two. The difference of these two is what? 246. 246 when I divide by 3, I'll get 82 numbers. 82 numbers. But then 702 was excluded from my list. So that 702 is also a multiple of 3, right? So 82 plus 1, 83. So this will remain 83 only, luckily. This remains 83 only. But look at 7. You cannot do 250 by 7, 35. Not this way. What will be the first multiple of 7? Understand. In case of 7, there will be a problem. The first multiple of 7, starting from 700, will be 700 itself. When you took 0 or when you took 1, 1 was not a multiple of 7 or 0 was not a multiple of 7. But when you're taking 700, both the numbers have to be included. Remember, 700 itself is a multiple of 7. Then 707, 714, 721 and so on up to the last number. Now what could be the last possible number that you can think of which is less than 950 and a multiple of 7? I think 945. Because 945 is 700 plus 210 plus 35. Yeah, 945. Now how many numbers are divisible by 7? You cannot be doing this. What do you have to do? Do a similar process. 945 minus 700 divided by 7. How much is that? 945 minus 700 is 245. 245 by 7 is 35. 35 plus 1 extra 1. Remember, extra 1 is why? Because this 700 was also a multiple of 7, which we did not count. Like earlier, 702 was not counted in this list. We have added 1. Now this time 700 has not been counted because 700 was excluded, right? So plus 1, 36. So this why this is not 35. This is 36. You're able to follow. And now similar process has to be done for 21. This you have understood. 3 or 7 cannot be taken directly. 83 plus 36, right? We have to find out the multiples of 21 as well. So divisible by 21. How do you do? You cannot do 250 by 21. What will be the multiple of 21 starting from smallest multiple of 21 after 700, including 700? I think 630. 630 plus 63 is 693. 693 plus 21. So 714. 714, I guess. It starts from 714. Guess or no? 630 plus 84. Yeah, 714. Then it will be 735. Then it will be 756. Then it will be 777 and so on. What will be the last multiple of 21? Before, less than 950? 840 plus 105. 840 plus 105 is 945. Yeah, I think 945 will be the last multiple of 21. You're getting it? Now you count. How do you count? Same process. 945 minus 714 divided by 21. I know this is getting complex, but you got to understand the, see, when you know the concept, it will be easy to solve. And I'm explaining you two problems actually, one with 0 to 250, the other with 700 to 950. So this time what do you do? 945 minus 714 divided by 21. So 945 minus 714 is what? 231, right? 945 minus 714, yeah, 231. 231 by 21 is 11, yeah, 11 plus 1. I don't have to explain you why 11 plus 1, which is equal to 12. Plus 1, 12. This plus 1 is because 714, which was a multiple of 21, got excluded. So we are adding that as well. Now you do this calculation. Instead of 83 plus 35 minus 11, you have to do 83 plus 36. Instead of 11, you got 12. 83 plus 36 minus 12. Now 83 plus 36 minus 12 is how much? I think 83 plus 36 is 119. 119 minus 12 is 107. See, you are lucky that you have got the same 107. But actually, it may not be the same 107 always. So don't get confused that after doing all this drama, we are getting the number as 107 only. We have got 107 numbers, but these 107 numbers are arriving with a different set. Earlier it was 83 plus 35 minus 11. Now it is 83 plus 36 minus 12. Now final answer, neither divisible by 3 nor by 7. It should not be 250. It should be 251. Remember, 251 numbers. Minus, it should not be 107, it should be 107. I would still say that. It should not be 107, but it should be 107. Because this 107 and this 107 are different. While numerically it is equal, the numbers referred in this 107 group and the numbers referred to in this 107 group are all different. Now 251 minus 107, how much is that? It will be 144. Right? So 144, option 3 will be the final answer. I know this has gotten complex, but you got to understand the whole process there. And I'm sure when you practice a couple of questions, you will be able to solve it really fast. And maybe you can also derive some kind of shortcut formula there, like a better understanding. A shortcut formula is nothing but a better understanding there. You're getting it. Like for example, I would know that when I'm looking at multiples of 21, you see, when you are starting from 0 to 250, you will say the first multiple is 21. But when you are starting from 700 to 950, the first multiple is 714 itself. So the multiple is getting advanced by how many numbers? It is getting advanced by 7 numbers. You understand? 714 itself has become a multiple. So that way the number of multiples of 11 have increased, or sorry, 21 have increased. Similarly, the number of multiples of 7 increased. Yeah? Since it was a difference, it balanced out. It kind of got set off, but otherwise it may give you a different result. Yeah? So be very careful. I hope all of you followed this. Shailesh Kumar here has given some solution which I'm not able to follow, but guys, don't worry. If I find a better way of solving this question, I would definitely explain this to you before you appear for your SSC CGL Tier 2 examination. I'll try and decipher what Shailesh is also trying to say. He's saying 700 into 2 by 3 into 6 by 7 is 400. And then 945 into 2 by 3 into 6 by 7 is 540. 540 minus 400 is 140. And then 950, 949, 947, 946. This looks like some shortcut. So 144. But Shailesh, I have not understood anything in that. I know you have mentioned that this would be easy or that would be easy, whatever you have mentioned, but I don't get anything in that. Okay, so I think with this we come to the end of this session. We will meet again on Wednesday for your session on algebra, and then again on Friday at 6 p.m. for the session on trigonometry. So see you all in these 2 sessions. Please make sure that you participate in the sessions and practice as much as you can before you go for your SSC CGL Tier 2 examination. All the very best. Keep practicing and take very good care of yourselves. Bye.